class, land consulting class, and one of the things we were talking about was land trust and why I'm so convicted in using land trust and why it's the best thing ever. And I went over some of those reasons, and one reason that I left out, then I'm actually giving you guys this gem before I even give my regular students. One reason I left out is say you're doing a deal, okay, and in that deal, you basically want to include family members, friends, husband, wife, just other people. Well, instead of you doing a deal with you and your spouse, you and whoever, son, daughter, whatever, cousin, partner, and on the deed or title, it says your name and that other person's name. Okay. And in the public on record, it has your name on there and that other person's name. Okay. So basically, you putting it out there for the whole world to know. Whatever your name is, own this property. If you sue me, here I am. I own this property. Come get this property. If you get a judgment against me, here I am. I own this property. Come sue me for this property. Like the whole world knows you own that property. Make that make sense. For some reason, we think when we have our name on a house title or a deed that that's power. That is the dumbest shit. That is the dumbest shit of all times. You own a $300,000 asset, $1 million asset, and you got your name on it. That's like somebody trying to shoot you. You're in a gunfight with somebody, and instead of you hiding behind a wall or something, you jump out and say, hey, here I am, shoot me, shoot me. Aha, you miss, aha, you miss, aha, you miss. No, you getting blown the hell up. Okay? You getting blown the hell up to smithereens. You do not want your name on public record for owning any type of property, any type of asset. If you own an old car, old pickup truck, go ahead and put that on public record. But if you own a Rolls Royce Mercedes Benz, you do not want that on public record. You own a house, a property of shit, any value. You don't want that on public record. I don't care if the property only worth $500 at swampland. You don't know. That property might go to $50,000, $500,000 in the future. And here you are having that property in your personal name. Okay? Now, child support, judgments, everything is coming after you. Okay? But nevertheless, let's move forward. But say you have that property not just in your name. What I want to get to is this in your name and it's in somebody else's name also. So like I said, your name, okay, and hang on one second. Your name and somebody else's name, okay? So basically, take the example I just gave. If the person that you own that property with has judgments, has liens, has anything against them, you're straight. You don't have any judgments, liens, or anything against you. But they go out there, hit somebody. Now they got a lawsuit against them. They got child support against them. They see that they own half of a house. They coming after y'all asset. It's y'all asset, but it's their dumbass that did the dumb shit. Why would you want to own something with somebody and they get into a jam and now they're coming after y'all's asset? Why not put it in a land trust that nobody even know who the fuck owns it? They don't even know that you own it. Okay? I'm telling y'all, I don't want to do business with anybody. I don't want to own properties with anybody that they are not willing to put the property in a land trust. I don't know what the fuck you got going on out there, what kind of issues you might have in the future. You don't know what the fuck I got going on, what kind of issues I might have in the future. Why would I want the decisions that I make or you make affect our assets? Why would I want that? Why would anybody want that? Okay? I told my students last night, you know, like they always tell a story about there was a guy, he claimed he owned part of the Empire, I think it's the Empire State Building or the Brooklyn Bridge, some shit like that. And the guy went around giving people quick claim deeds to his interest that he owned in whatever it was, the Brooklyn Bridge or Empire State Building. And he said, and all a quick claim deed is, you're saying, hey, I don't know how much interest I own in this property. I don't even know if I have any interest owned in this property. But if you give me $5,000 or whatever money, I'll sign over that interest to you. So, he allegedly went around just signing a bunch of quick claim deeds to a bunch of people and making a bunch of money. Come to find out, he didn't own shit. He didn't own shit, but it was legal because he was saying, hey, I don't even know if I own anything in it. All you need, all a person need is a quick claim deed. Okay? When husbands and wives get divorced and one person's going to keep the house, the other one's going to basically vacate the house or vacate their interest. The one that's going to vacate the house, the property, or vacate their interest, whether it's uh, primary residence or investment property or whatever, the person that's vacating their interest, they have to sign a quick claim deed. Quit, Quit, quit claim deed. Okay? So basically, they're just quitting their interest in the property. Okay? You could print one up online, fill it out, y'all sign it at a dinner table, get it notarized, and go file it in the court system. It's that simple to actually do. But I always recommend you get a lawyer, especially if it's your first time trying to do something like that. All right. Quick disclaimer: this is for entertainment purposes only. Take it as you may. What you guys have to realize is it's not a flex to show off. It is not a flex to show off. All of y'all that think it's a flex to show off, it is not a flex. Showing off is the dumbest shit you could do. I had to learn. I'm not judging nobody. I had to learn. I used to show off all the time. I used to show off money, flash money on social media. I used to do all that dumb shit. Have the money phone, the brick phone. Yeah, my baby mom told me, what the fuck are you doing? Are you out your goddamn mind? My baby mom told me that when we were together. And I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with her, what she was talking about. I had to get older and get these grays to realize what the fuck she was talking about. All right? Showing off is one of the dumbest shit you could do. You're saying, here I am, look at all this money I got, look at what I got, look at my cars, look at my house. It is not a flex. It's one of the dumbest shits you can do. It's one of the dumbest things you could do. All right? What you want to do is you want to act like you have nothing. You don't have shit. Okay? Especially if you're not a celebrity, you're not anybody in the public eye like that. You don't really need to show off like that to make more money. I get it if you need to show off like that to make more money. I get it if you're a celebrity, people are gonna find out anyway. But in general, if you're just an average man or a woman, you don't need to be showing off or have on public record that you own this house, you own this car, you have these diamond rings, you have this brick money phone. You don't need to be showing off none or any of that stuff. Okay? Now, back to what I was saying. let's just say hypothetically, hi Dominic the Bear. Let's just say hypothetically, not even hypothetically, happens all the time. You own a property with somebody. That person gets jammed up. They get arrested one night, and in order for them to make bail, they say, "Hey, do you own any property?" Um, you know, and the person says, "Yes, I own a house or land or property." Um, they will use that property as collateral. For those of you who has ever been in this situation, the court system want people that have land, that have property. They want people to put up the land or property as collateral. Okay? Once that is done, and say that person jump bail, okay, that property, that asset could now be in jeopardy of being owned by the court system. Not even the court system, the bail bondsman, because the bail bondsman is who bail people out. The bail bondsman could take that house, definitely put a lien on the house. Definitely put a lien on the house. Why would you want to be doing business with somebody and y'all names is on the house? Y'all government names is on the house. Why would you want to go through something like this? Now, if it's in an LLC or a trust or anything like that, y'all have nothing to worry about. Nobody has anything to worry about. Okay, and I went over that in class last night. Why a trust gives you a lot of immunity, if that's the right word. It gives you a lot of protection. Okay, a land trust is your bulletproof vest and your gun. Okay, you cannot just take a bullet, okay, but you could shoot back. The reason why you could shoot back with a trust is this. Let's say somebody in your trust gets jammed up or whatever, all right? Or one of your beneficiaries want to sell their interests. Say you're doing business with somebody, or your son, daughter, whoever is one of your beneficiaries, and they want to sell their interests in the property. They could go ahead. They could go right ahead and sell their interests. Okay? But remember, a trust is a private document. The person now has to get on the trust. Their personal name now has to get on the trust itself. Okay? If their personal name is not on the trust itself, I don't care how much money they paid for that interest, they're not any type of ownership of that property. They're not in any type of ownership of that property. Okay, so basically, if that person come and say, "Hey, I own this property. I brought your son's interest in the property," you shoot back. You shoot back and you say, "Oh no, you don't. I didn't put your name on this. Your name is not on the trust documents. So how the fuck you own anything? What the fuck you talking about? My son scammed you. My daughter scammed you. You don't own shit." Perfect example is this. When you make a reservation at a private restaurant, or you a membership of a private club, or you get tickets to a private event, like that, there it is, you get tickets to a private event, and at that private event they take your name. Yeah, you bought a ticket, but they take your name. So you specifically are invited, nobody else. You really cannot sell that ticket to anybody else, but your dumbass goes sell a ticket to somebody else. That dumb person buys the ticket from you. They show up to the event and say, "Hey, I got a ticket, blah, 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 let me in." Okay, the host or whoever is holding the door is going to be, "What's your name?" They're going to say, "Well, you're not on the list. You can't come in." "Oh, but I have a ticket." "I don't give a fuck. You're not on the list. You can't get in." It's the same thing when you have a land trust. I don't care who buys the interest of your partners or beneficiaries. If they're not on the list, they can't get in. All right? If they are not on the list, they cannot get in. Okay? I'm telling you guys. Land trust is one of the best things you can do, if not the best thing you can do when you own property. If it's not one of the best thing, it's definitely the absolute best thing you can do when you own property. And you want to have your land trust already set up, at least your name of your land trust already set up before you purchase the property, and let the closing attorney know the property is going in a land trust name and you are whoever is a trustee. All right? Because it's kind of difficult if you purchase the property and then you want to go back and get it into a trust name if you have a mortgage on the property. If you own the property free and clear, then that's not going to be a big deal. Okay. But if there's a mortgage on the property, then it could be an issue with transferring the title or deed name from your personal name, your government name, into a land trust name. So you want to have it all set up before you have that property deeded into your name or your entity. Okay? So get in a mastermind, guys. 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. I'll show you guys how to do all of this stuff. All right? Whenever your husband and wife, son and daughter, you and whoever buying property together, always set it up in a land trust. One land trust. Okay? Then after you do that one land trust, you can have multiple land trusts in that land trust. So your beneficiary could be your land trust, your son land trust, your daughter land trust, your husband land trust, your wife land trust. You could put a land trust inside of a land trust, okay? And then that land trust, those land trusts could have their own trustees, which would be whoever's the beneficiary. That way, if anything happened to them, okay, they also have beneficiaries, and it just keep going down the line. Anyhow, get in the mastermind. I'll show you guys all this stuff. I keep telling you guys, it's so easy. Why they didn't teach us this stuff in school? The same reason they don't even teach us stocks in school. They even took out the trades in school. You can't learn home economics in school no more. You can't learn auto mechanics in school no more. You cannot learn carpentry in school no more. My son graduated high school, and if it wasn't for me teaching him a little bit about auto mechanics and carpentry and home improvement stuff, he wouldn't know nothing. Most of these young men coming out of high school, if they didn't learn anything from somebody in their family or friends, they didn't learn it from high school. They even took out cursive writing in school. Like, this whole school system is designed to dumb young people the fuck down. The whole system is designed to dumb you the fuck down. And then at the same time, they tell you ignorance of the law or ignorance of the truth is no excuse. They leave it up to you. It's your responsibility to research and find out truth. It's your responsibility to teach your offsprings truth and whatever they need to know. It's not the school's. When you have a baby, when you put life in this world, it's your responsibility to equip them with everything they need in this world. If you're the dumbass that want to go out here and work 10, 20 hours a day and not have any time to teach your offsprings anything, then and your offsprings grow up to be criminal and get in trouble, and you always got to bond them and bail them out of jail and raise their babies, basically raising your grandbabies, because you made the decision to not raise your babies. I know a lot of people going through that right now. They got to raise their grandbabies because they didn't raise their babies right. But I raised them right. No, you fuck didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. Anyhow, 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. Get in the mastermind. And then one last thing, guys. that I have to tell you guys. Okay, I mentioned this in class last night. Some people do not like to do business with others. Some people just like feel like the safest thing to do is to do it alone. Do shit alone. The safest thing to do is not to do things alone. Just like the safest thing to do is to not put property in your personal name or your government name. Who the fuck would ride out in the middle of the ocean alone? Okay? Only a dumbass. Okay? We hear all the time people ride out in the middle of the ocean alone, whether swimming or on a boat, and you never hear from them again. Who the fuck, what police officer would go into a house, you know, that they hear somebody in there screaming, or, you know, they got a warrant and they go in there alone? What, even when a cop pull somebody over, right? They always tell them call for backup. Who the fuck would do anything of significancy alone? Okay? One of my mantras is, if you want to go far, you cannot go alone. If you want to go far in life, you cannot go alone. No man, no woman is an island. I know, you know, you'll get business partners that screw you. I've had business partners who try to screw me. You all, you know, just like you in a relationship, your partner, your romantic partner try to screw you. All right? Not in the way of having sex, but screw you. Hold on, this thing making noise out here. But screw you in a way of you know, business wise, money wise. Okay? So what you want to do, guys, is you always want to, oh my god, the dog. So what you want to do is you want to always be in a position where you are not doing things alone. It doesn't matter if you're in jeopardy of getting screwed. Okay? You have sex all the time with people and don't know if you're going to end up with an STD. Don't know if you're going to end up pregnant. Okay? You cannot have sex alone. I mean, you can masturbate, but who wants to do that? Okay? Who wants to do anything alone? Like the example I gave, if you have $100,000 and you take that $100,000 and you go buy one property, go ahead and miss that insurance payment if you want to. Go ahead and miss that insurance payment if you want to, and make that insurance lapse, and see won't you not have insurance. And then if somebody burned down a house or damaged a house or a hurricane come through, you lost your $100,000, or all you'll have is land value on that property. Okay? Now, if there's no house on the property, it's just one piece of land, then you're pretty much straight no matter what. But let's say you own the land and you're not making any money on the land, your $100,000 has not made anything for you. Okay? So what I would do, and what I am doing, is if I have $100,000, I'd rather take $1,000 and go buy 100 houses. Not even houses, 100 properties. If you have $10,000, it's better you take $1,000 and go buy 10 properties. If you have $1,000, it's better you take $100 and go buy 10 properties. Or if you have $1,000, it's better you take $500 and go buy 2 properties. How? You get other people to partner up with you. Everybody come with a 500, or everybody come with 1,000. And now each of you own a part of 100 properties, or a part of 10 properties. Okay? That way, if 20% of your investment go flop, you still have 80%. Okay? Versus if 80% of your investment goes flop and you have your whole $100,000 in there. Okay, now you lost 80%, $80,000. Like if you own a property that's 80,000, that's $100,000. The land is worth 20,000. The house is worth the land is worth 80,000. The house is worth, excuse me, the land is worth 20,000. The land is worth 80,000, and the house burned down. Something happened to the house, and you don't have insurance on the house, or they're not covering the house because of that insurance policy don't cover fire or whatever. Like what happened to the people in California. So instead of you losing $80,000, you know, you just lost $80,000 off one property. You didn't lose $80,000 off the 100 properties or the 10 properties, and you didn't even lose $80,000 because if it's 10 of y'all owning that one property, each of y'all only lost $8,000. Whereas if you have your whole $100,000 in that one property, you lost your $80,000. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Never have all your eggs in one basket. Never have all your eggs in one basket. Never have all your eggs in one basket. All right? I'm telling you, I love business partners. I welcome business partners. I want business partners. Any one of y'all want a business partner on me? You want a business partner with me? Come on, let's do it. Just know we're putting everything in a trust. I'm not doing any business with you, and we're not going in a trust. I don't know the life you live. We all know each other, but only to a certain extent. I don't know the decisions you might make. I don't know if you're gonna get dementia in the future and just be signing shit like Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck. I need to protect myself. I need to protect my money, my assets. The only way I'm going to do that is we're all in a trust. Okay? I'm not buying anything or doing anything with anybody, and my name is on Front Street, nor your name is on Front Street. I don't want to go to my property one day and I now own it with somebody that I don't even know because you sold your interest in the property. All right? It happens all the time. I had a business partner that, we did a deal like that. He did the deal like that, and he owned half of a property that the husband sold to him. The husband sold the interest to him. It's kind of like people do it all the time. If I know they're gonna put a casino right here across the street, a hospital, like a gas station, a Walmart, whatever, especially with a casino, okay, everybody within a 5, 10, 15-minute radius, 20-minute radius of that casino basically just gain $100,000 to $200,000 equity instantly overnight before the casino is even finished building. Just them breaking ground and starting a casino, you just gain 50,000 to probably 200,000, depending on the house. I would say in percentage, you just gain another 50% equity in your property. But even if it's a bad neighborhood and the houses around there only worth $50,000, trust me, somebody is going to offer you $150,000 because a casino, especially if it's a beautiful luxury casino, Hard Rock casino, you just literally put $100,000 in your pocket just by them building that casino. Okay, so now investors that know type of stuff like this, that know a casino might be going up in the area because they heard it through the grapevine or the commissioner's office or the building and zoning office or whatever. So they go around and they trying to buy everything that's in that area so that they can basically get that or half of that equity. So they'll approach your husband, your wife, your partner. Hey, you want to sell half your interest? I'll give you $50,000 right now. How you gonna give me $50,000 on a property that's only worth $50,000 or $20,000? Hey, don't worry about it. I'm gonna give you $50,000 right now. If you quit claim deed to me half your interest. People do it all the time. Then come to find out a whole casino go up, and they're like, oh, that's why they wanted to buy my interest. Husbands and wife divorce, and people sell their interests all the time. Okay, it happens. All right. I'm telling you guys, I could go on and on and on for hours talking about this. I'm just gonna give you guys the gist of it. I'm already into it like 30 minutes. Love you guys. Get in the mastermind 754-229-0940. Love you. Peace.